Hey, what's up, BZB TV fans? Today we're going to be talking about a really interesting topic, and that's going to be AI technology and how it's impacting our world in the audio-video scene, as well as maybe even some other technology scenes. But it's a really broad topic. There's a lot to cover here, and we even have some really cool products that are taking advantage of the innovation that is taking place in the AI space. So, joining me today to kind of talk about this is our friends Flo, our other videographer, and then Nathan Fox, our tech support lead. Nathan is really good technical guy to talk about this stuff. I mean, right now he's even possibly using a product that has some AI technology.
Yes, I am. It's not on right now, but a little later we'll show you the AI on the camera that we're using, our brand new BGEAR Damo camera with AI technology. I'll walk around and it likes me so much it won't let go.
Yeah, it's actually really impressive. We have another video that we'll show a little bit here, and just kind of showing off the AI tracking component of it. Thankfully, we had some great partners in our distributors, AVL Media, that were willing and able to take some video with us while we were at one of those trade shows to kind of show off the product. So just a little plug for them. Speaking of distributors and whatnot, I'm just going to go ahead and pop up this little thing here. This is just a picture of all of our authorized resellers, or where our products are available on, and also our distributors. So if you have questions about our products, please make sure to reach out to some of our distributors or our resellers. They have a whole lot of information, and we are currently doing a lot of we are doing a lot of training for them as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and pop right into the good old AI. So AI, if you don't know, it just stands for artificial intelligence. Pretty simple term, but it is not a simple subject at all. There's a lot that's going on in this field. For example, like we touched on with our Adamo, that's actually using an AI tracking algorithm to essentially be able to tell who the target of the tracking is and not let go of them. It works really well. Nathan, do you have anything to add about like how that technology actually works?
It's just super smart. It makes it super easy because of some of our older cameras that did not have AI. You would have to really set up for auto tracking. You have to really set up the target, the frame, the zoom, the range. This one it's just makes it super simple. Where, like you said, Matt, it recognizes a human, and it just makes it very. It simplifies everything. Just with the push of a button, you can just get going. It's very convenient for places like churches or even at the home, set up a camera or any sort of thing that allows for AI technology. Just to, it is replacing human technology, or just not human technology, but humans in general. So if you're you don't have a lot of help or a body count, AI, just slap it on your device and it's good to go.
Right. I mean, it's not perfect. No AI is currently, but the really important thing about this AI tracking technology that we have in the Adamo is I believe it's stature-based, correct? It basically recognizes who it targets on to based on like height and like the width of the shoulders and all that stuff. So it's really particular about who it's locked onto. So one of the cool things is typically with a lot of solutions when it comes to auto tracking, they're really finicky if you have more than one person in the frame. This one still can be, but it's not nearly as finicky as the older generations of auto tracking cameras are. Like, for example, in this video that we're going to show in a little bit, Rob Peretti from AVL Media, he's walking around and there's other people walking around in the frame, and it's not losing him. It's continuing to track him throughout the entirety of the frame. So, I mean, that's really impressive. You couldn't really do that before with previous auto tracking cameras. So that's kind of one way that AI is really kind of just making a huge impact in this space. So I wouldn't say it's 100% if you want to put more than one person on the stage, but it's definitely a lot better than it used to be, and it's kind of an exciting look into maybe what the future might hold. Maybe as this technology gets better, you might even be able to just freely switch between who you want to track with the click of a button. So it's kind of interesting to see how this market's going, and there's also a whole lot of other things that AI is doing that you don't really see that wasn't really possible before. One of the big things from like a video related standpoint is AI upscaling. So a lot of times there's some older videos or older photo content that it's not the greatest resolution, and it might be something really cool, but one thing that you're seeing a lot of now, especially if you just look at it on YouTube, you can find AI upscaling of videos, and it's really impressive. So I don't know if you guys have seen anything like that.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, no, that's
interesting topic.
Yeah, so it's a really cool technology. There's a lot of things where, for example, old game trailers or whatnot, they feed it into an AI, and the algorithm basically takes all of the information that's there, and it's creating new keyframes, new basically information that it thinks needs to be in that space. And it's gotten to the point where a lot of times it looks exactly what you expect it to look like, but the resolution is just much higher. I know people like Linus Tech Tips have really kind of dove into this just a little bit to kind of show people, and it's really cool because you can see some of his older content being like old 720p videos that you might not have been able to see in like true 4K, and they're upscaling it from like 720p to 4K. And again, like, it's not entirely perfect, but the end result is getting to a point where it could very well be in the next 2, 3, maybe even 4 years, you're seeing content that's not necessarily shot in 4K becoming 4K content, just because of AI is able to kind of create this algorithm in order to put information where there wasn't information before. So it's kind of really
kind of taking digitizing to a whole another level.
Yeah, exactly. It's really cool, actually. The technology is kind of endless with AI. There's a whole lot you can do with it. So
that's interesting. Yeah, that's my first time kind of hearing about it, but just kind of what you're talking about, AI, just basically recreating and even duplicating something that's really not there, like you said, with the resolution. So that's actually interesting, and crazy how we talk about AI, because it's usually a subject in movies. And interesting thing I just learned too is that AI has been around. People were talking about AI. It was brought up in a conference back in 1956. I was just reading up on it. Excuse my voice, a little deep. I've been coughing a little bit. It's not COVID, but good thing we've got our distance, right?
Absolutely.
We're working, but we're not all in the same space. So that's another thing with technology, is us being able to work together, even if we're not in like the best with COVID and whatnot, kind of protecting ourselves. I just wanted to add on, when it comes to the Adamo, when you guys were talking about the AI for it. Yes, I was actually at Infocomm, and we were talking to some of the developers with the AI, and it is based on stature. And as Matt was mentioning, the possibilities are endless, because imagine in the near future, okay, it's using AI to kind of look at the human stature, but how about being able to recognize voice? And we have some voice recognition type technology now in our phones, or even if we're calling we're making a phone call to try to change something on our like bank account or something, we always get like a virtual assistant now. That's all AI. But
Hmm.
just imagine like in the future, it can recognize your voice, your tone, maybe even, yeah, just voice recognition could be another thing that can be added to the Adamo. And as you mentioned, it's not perfect, but I think we kind of look at AI as like, oh, it's down the road, it's down the like, it's not going to happen for a long time, but it's actually, it's happening right now, whether we like it or not. It's in our smartphones, our TVs, when we, like as I mentioned, voicemail when we're calling people, chatbots, and yeah, AI's. I think it's here to stay. There's a lot of fear that AI will, take over our jobs, or or even
A
in
little bit of
movies like the
Skynet,
Terminator.
maybe.
Yeah, or a rogue AI robot like iRobot will come and
iRobot, yep.
hunt us down. I think that's just a general anxiety from what people have watched in movies. But I think we're a long time from that, hopefully. But there have been some advances in AI, and I think yeah. And as far as our cameras, I don't. It's hard to imagine that not a lot of cameras will have this auto tracking. I think many will have some type of auto tracking feature in probably the next 2 to 3 years, especially PTZ cameras.
Hmm. I think one thing that's really important to focus on when it comes to AI is I think a whole lot of people kind of misunderstand the purpose of AI. I think in a lot of cases, people, like you said, they think AI is going to maybe like replace jobs and whatnot. Um, Currently, just the way that AI is being developed and what it's being used for, we don't have to worry about that anytime soon, right? Like I think a lot of the times AI is really just being used to kind of improve the quality of life for people that are in that field. So, for example, with the Adamo and the auto tracking, you can use it to basically run a camera without an operator behind it. But at the end of the day, the operator behind it is still going to do a little bit of a better job than the AI algorithm. But what the algorithm does allow you to do is it allows you to, maybe if you're a solo person and that's all you have is the person on the stage, um, and the person who's basically swapping between the cameras, it allows you to be able to run a production in that manner without needing extra people to do it. So it just makes your life a little bit easier. It's not the end all be all solution at the moment, but it can really improve the quality of life for you when you're doing your job. Another thing is, I think probably one big thing we're going to see AI is maybe even in the color space for cameras, just being able to do some color grading and whatnot. Again, that's not going to 100% replace, but it could give you a much better starting off point, or just a way to maybe streamline your work a little bit faster.
And one thing to add about AI, I feel like kind of Flo, you were talking about it, is that it's going to allow for the simple things that you're thinking about, like, voice, like Siri and all that kind of stuff. Like, get rid of those small menial tasks that you can so you yourself can focus on the bigger things. So like let the AI take up the small
Mm-hmm.
things that can maybe, automating stuff that you don't have to take mental bandwidth to focus on. Even like going back to like Matt, you're talking about like just moving a camera around where you can focus on, like if you're running a church, like you can focus on the actual, if you're the preacher, you don't have to worry about all that, like getting everything. You can actually focus on the topic that what you need to really focus on. So you're not AI allows for that, just ease of mind and just simplicity of just topic or technology that gets really complicated. Let AI take care of it, and I think that's where it's headed. Just to kind of simplify, make everything smoother, make everything available, make everything just easier to grasp, and kind of just make your life just simpler so you can move forward and really focus on more important things than just controlling certain things where AI can take over.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
like, 100% definitely. Since we've been talking about it so much, let's go ahead and just take a quick look at the Adamo and its auto tracking. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Rob Peretti from AVL Media Group.
Hi, my name is Rob Peretti. I'm with AVL Media Group, and at Infocomm 2022, I'd like to talk about the award-winning Adamo camera. It features 4K 60, available video outputs on HDMI, 12G SDI. It is an IP streaming camera as well. It supports NDI-SHX. It has a micro SD recorder, and it also features a 12x and a 25x zoom, tally lights for active and record, and on IP we can control it via applications. The camera can find its way in a wide range of applications, including broadcast, production, house of worship, education, medical, really a wide range of applications for a 4K camera. And with a 1-inch CMOS and the beautiful glass, you have perfect picture quality. New for Infocomm 2022 is an auto tracking function that uses AI-based stature. Let's try a demo. This amazing auto tracking functionality is perfect for house of worship, education, corporate AV presentation. Reach out to your nearest dealer or ABL Media Group in Canada.
Infocomm shirt.
All right, and we're back from that video. So that's just a quick little look at some of the Adamo auto tracking, and I think Nathan might actually be working from an Adamo right now.
Yes, yeah, actually the Adamo 25X is actually pointing on me right now. It's across the room here, and I don't have the auto tracking on, but it's great just by the push of the button, the way it's set up, it'll start auto tracking. So I'll go ahead and push that, and you can watch it follow me around. So if I just hit the green button here on my remote. Oh, baby. There it goes. Up, found me right away. And it's pretty quick.
Yeah, it just took a little bit of a second there to get you, but once it did, it gets you real quick.
Yeah, and then I love you can squat down.
That's definitely something you couldn't do.
Push-ups.
That's actually
That's
something
all
you
you
couldn't do
That's low.
with some of our previous auto tracking cameras, like the
our
Maestro.
some of our other ones. Maestro only goes pans left and right, so this is a huge upgrade, especially for preachers or like going up and down the stage there or whatever.
Or if you're one of those personal trainers and you don't have a cameraman to follow you around the gym, or maybe you got a home gym, it can follow you as you train, and it could, maybe you got a YouTube channel or something. Just an idea.
Yeah, exactly.
The other thing that really stands out about this too is, not to knock the Maestro, because it's actually a pretty good camera for what it is, especially at the price point. But one of the things that I notice, and you can see it right now, is as it's panning and tilting to follow Nathan here, it also will zoom in automatically or zoom out. So like with a lot of other auto tracking cameras, you kind of set the overall tracking space, and then you set the viewing space, and that viewing space is automatically just going to crop in. So it's just always going to be cropped in as it's tracking. But this one will actually pan, tilt, and follow you and zoom in at the same time. So that's not something that you see a whole lot with a lot of auto tracking cameras, but the AI compatibility of this camera is allowing it to do that. So that's pretty nice.
Yeah, and as you can see, I'm just sitting down now and it's still on me. So yeah, it has that stature. I'm not the tallest, so it was able to get me pretty well, but I'm not that short either. So yeah, as you can see, like you said, Matt, it zooms in, it follows you, especially at the 25. It'll follow you down the hallway. So it locks on. It's a really smart camera, and yeah, it's really cool.
It's a game changer.
And the best part,
Yeah.
it didn't even lose you when you hid behind the tree.
No. Yeah. Yeah,
Good at playing hide and seek, huh?
and what you can do too, if you have someone else on the stage, you can maybe be able to trick it if you want to switch it off. Like if you both stand still, like back to back, and that just obviously we're gonna, it's gonna be approved on. But if that person could walk away, it could probably it'll most likely grab that person that's still standing there. So if it has the ability to do that, I don't know why you could do that, but if you want that option, there's a lot of options out there. And then going back to the Maestro has it as well, has that not this as much, but it has the AI technology on it as well. So and just a little plug that we have a lot of cameras, a lot of some of our technology, a lot of products coming out soon. We can't talk about too much, but a lot of things to come that are going to be equipped with AI, and so a lot of cool stuff coming out in the future from BZBGEAR, just to support everyone's needs and environments or whatever they be. So really excited for that.
Yeah, those are 2 award-winning cameras, right? We got our Maestro, which is a little bit more budget-friendly. I think that's if you're okay with 1080p, right? Is that the max resolution for the Maestro? But if you want to step up, definitely the Adama with 25x that is the longest range, right?
Yeah, we have a 12x and 25.
25x.
Yeah,
that's definitely a step up where you can get 4K at 60. It's got SDI, 12G SDI, right?
Yep.
Where am I? It is. So, man, I'm trying to. I need to learn a little bit about our cameras, but I know it can. I know it can support many different as far as ports. There, you got your SDI, HDMI, USB 3.0. A lot of options.
USB 2.0.
Yes, 2.0. Yep. And you could you record on an SD card too, so that's a huge new feature for that.
And if I'm not mistaken, you can use all of them at the same time if you really wanted to.
Yeah. If you're go right ahead.
Very cool. Good stuff, guys. By the way, before we're actually running out on time here as far as our live stream, we're showing off these stainless steel BZBGEAR containers here for coffee. It could be for water. We're actually giving one away, so if there's anyone viewing, we did post on our social that we will be giving this away. So let it be known, if you're on our chats there, we will be giving this away. If we don't have anyone, we'll do it again next week. So we plan to just give these away. These are really cool. I'm sipping on some iced coffee right now because it's a pretty warm Friday where I'm at. But what you drinking there, Nate?
Just some ice cold water.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Work related liquids.
I don't have mine yet, so I'm still stuck with this big old 2 liter. But this is just water. So, but pretty.
The water actually stays really cool in this. I think it's aluminum, right? It's really.
Yeah, pretty soon I'll be drinking out of that too. I've heard they are fantastically nice cups.
Yeah.
Well, if let's see. Oh, there you go. I think someone's on our. Someone is on our chat there. We may have to look them up to see.
We might have to. But
yeah.
Well, I'm here. Hi, Chase. How's it going?
Hey, what's going on, Maynard Momenza? Say hi to Chase. What's up, Chase? Thanks for watching. Cool, good stuff, guys. Well, I think that's it for today, right?
Yeah.
I think we did cover a lot with AI.
I think that.
You guys have any other thoughts?
No, I don't think so. I think that covers it for AI. There's quite a bit to cover in this topic, and there's a lot of different ways that you can take it. But the topic was AI. Maynard, excuse me. Sorry, I didn't mean to mess up your name. But we were just talking about AI and how it relates to the AV field and what it can possibly do moving forward in the future. We're just about done, but if you weren't able to catch all of it, you can go ahead and go back and rewatch it here on YouTube. So without further ado, guys, thanks for tuning in, and
Happy Friday.
And make sure you tune in to the next one to maybe possibly get a BZBGEAR cup. See you guys later.
Yeah.
Ooh.